from truly developing as leaders. End of quote. His mic was cut before he could finish his speech. Sorry. The kids are sick of it. Yeah. They're done. They're not having it anymore.
Yep. You want to know when it gets good? When the mic is cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you should start paying attention.
Yeah.
Because they're hitting the bullseye.
Yeah. Or when the mic is taken away. Let's not get back into Brandon Dillon.
Let's go towards blue, no matter who. There's just a few that I think.
Oh, good Lord. Do we really have to go there right now, Jack?
Well,
do I really have to play the music? Really? Do I have to play the music?
Stop. Hammer time.
Oh, yeah. You know what that segment is, folks. It's hammer time. This is where we drop the hammer on the douchebag of the week, and we've been teasing this. We teased it on our official Facebook page last night. We've teased this at the top of this show. Oh, boy, folks, hang on to your hats. The winner of douchebag of the week this week is former Democratic Congressional candidate for the 2nd District, Dr. Rob Davidson. Well, why? What did he do? You know, we'll just tell you, folks. I've got it right here. And by the way, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Dean Vanderstel tipped us off to this, and thank you very much, Dean. Dean ran for 2nd District in 2014, which we'll get to. So there's a Facebook page for the West Michigan Lakeshore Progressives, and they're big supporters of ours. A lot of the members listen to this show, and we really appreciate it. The page itself published a link to an article published by USA Today. Read the headline. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin regrets endorsing Hillary and is open to backing Trump in 2020. Folks, this is USA Today publishing this. So they posted a link to this article on the West Michigan Lakeshore Progressives page. And they wrote this, quote, and the Democrats defend this guy. Any blue won't do.
There you go.
That's direct quote. So in the comments, we've had several supporters, several people who listen to our show. Linda Bradley says, no thanks, I don't defend people with atrocious records. Susan Malaya, who also listens to our show, wrote, members of Spring Lake Progressives couldn't wait to defend him when I asked them if they'd vote for him after he said they could endorse Trump. They said, this is a direct quote, better than a Republican, they are lost. That's Susan's words. Mm-hmm. So Dean chimed in. Susan, I too found the Spring Lake Progressives to be a little more than a vote blue no matter who group. They only feign true support for progressive values. And Susan brings up the point that this group is defending Manchin. Manchin has an A+ rating with the National Rifle Association. But they go after Bernie, who has a D- rating with the NRA. And this is all after Manchin said that he could endorse Trump, which they're trying to get out of office. They're fake progressives, folks. When they tell you that we'll support Manchin, when we'll support the Louisiana governor who signed an abortion heartbeat bill, fetal heartbeat bill, that's what vote blue no matter who gets you. You get Republican light. You get a wolf in sheep's clothing. So Dr. Rob Davidson responded to Susan, quote, oh, bullshit, Susan, and you know it. Nobody defended him, merely acknowledging the reality of dichotomous elections. He then went after Dean. BS. Supporting progressive values is different than making an adult decision in a general election with a dichotomous outcome. Have fun in Trump land for 4 more years.
That's the threat.
Yeah.
Underneath that threat,
you want to know why we have a dichotomous outcome? It's because the Republicans and the Democrats want a dichotomous outcome. They don't want third parties. Hell, I'd settle for a second party. We have a corporate party with a left and right wing in this country. That is a period. End of story.
Coke and Pepsi. We've said that on this show.
Coke and Diet Coke.
Yeah, there you go.
Because they're the same company. The money's going to the same place.
We're the school that pointed out that if the lost election by Hillary happens, this is back in 2016, you don't have anybody to blame but Hillary. Yeah. It was called Dear Everyone. If Hillary loses, it's Hillary's fault. No one else.
Yeah, we told you so.
Exactly. And we've taken the blame and the heat for standing for principled progressives that want to run as Democrats that might change the party for too many damn months in my book. You know that Hillary never walked into Wisconsin
I didn't
in the
know
election?
that until you told me this morning before we started recording. I had no idea.
Yeah. And over 100,000 people, they didn't mark that part of the ballot. We know what she did in the Rust Belt. She barely came into Michigan.
Yeah.
And those are the areas that cost her the election.
Yeah.
Not a few handful of people that voted for Jill Stein. It was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Democrats that said, we can't vote for her.
Let me repeat the statistic that we mentioned back in late 2016 and early 2017. This is a documented article with links by the Washington Post that said among 33 states in the District of Columbia where they keep statistics for what's called undervoting. Undervoting is when you vote down ticket, but you skip the presidential election. Or in a governor's race, you vote down ticket and you don't vote for the governor. In those 33 states in the District of Columbia that keep statistics on this phenomenon, over 1.75 million voters thought it was important enough to go out and vote for Congress, to vote for their local elections. They skipped the presidential election. Why? Because they didn't like any of the major candidates running. There's your truth right there.
You shoved that corporate candidate down our throat, DNC, and that's what you got. Millions of voters that didn't vote.
So Dean responded to Dr. Davidson. You are obviously a vote blue no matter who person, someone who would vote for Joe Manchin just because he has a D next to his name. Sorry, Robert, I don't sell out my integrity that easily. And guess what? We don't either. So Davidson responds, Dean, save the dramatics. I'm no sellout. I'm very comfortable with my values. Despite what you and Susan believe, you're not the arbiters of who is or isn't worthy of the moniker progressive. Let me stop there. They may not be, but Jack, I'll tell you what, you and I are. We call it like it is right on this show every single week, and I've done so since May of 2012, and I'm not going to stop. You're never going to stop me.
We've put on this show a list of litmus tests. If you are confused, if you really don't know what a progressive is, we have put a guideline out over and repeatedly over and over again. And, we sat in a crowd, didn't we?
Yep.
We sat up in the
I voted for him.
Yeah, I did too. We sat there and said, here's a guy on health care that's progressive, but it's skin thin. And you can take Elizabeth Warren, you can put her in that same club.
Yep. Let me continue. He continues here, I'm back to calling myself a liberal. Progressive and been poisoned by my way or the highway absolutists who call themselves revolutionaries, yet only know how to blow up a party that is with them on 80% of the issues and then get elected members of a party that disagrees with them 80% of the time. Well, I tell you what, it's the 20% of the issues that are important, like single-payer universal health care, like free college, like doing something about the damn environment before we all die.
Yeah, all of the 80% include softballs like gay issues, which is admirable. We're not arguing with those issues. But the ones that count, the ones that really go to the heart of the issue, against the corporate world and control over our democracy that allowed this mess to take place, in that 20%, these faugressives, not progressives, faugressives, that's where they don't show up. Mm-hmm. Other than Bernie and a very few.
Yeah,
Alexandria, they don't
Alexandria
show
Ocasio-Cortez,
up in the critical 20% zone.
Ilhan Omar, actual true progressives that are the true leaders of this country.
Yeah, I used to coach football, and they always said, where the game's won? There's a little 6-inch strip right between those two teams. That's where the action is. Mm-hmm. And the 20% where the real battle's going on, these progressives don't put their hat in the ring. They got a million excuses. Why not?
Yeah, it's disheartening to have to do this, but to Dr. Rob Davidson, former congressional candidate, I'm telling you, if you run again, you're going to get your ass kicked. I will never vote for you ever again. You, my sir, are a douchebag.
Don't be a douchebag.
That's right. Dr. Rob, you might be a good doctor, but you're a horrible politician. Please stop being a douchebag. I don't know who got to you, if anybody did, but grow a brain. I'm done. I really am. Tell you what, let's go to this. We need to lighten things up here. We've got this story. Jack, you're the one that provided this to us. This is Ella Torres at the New York Daily News. This is our off-the-cuff segment. You're going to love the first line of the story. She got testy with her boyfriend.
Yeah, wow. That's
21-year-old 21-year-old Katie Lee Pitchford was arrested and charged after allegedly assaulting her live-in boyfriend until he bled. The Indian Harbor Beach Police Department were called to the scene after a man reported that his girlfriend became enraged and attacked him during an altercation in the early hours last Tuesday, that according to a police report obtained by the New York Daily News. Pitchford continuously struck her boyfriend, who was not named, with her fist and scratched the left side of his face. He told police officers, and this is according to the police report, that Pitchford, quote, grabbed him by his balls and squeezed them until they were bleeding, end of quote.
Wow.
He said he was only able to escape after she put her hands around his throat, leaving him unable to breathe and forcing him to wrestle her by the arms. Officials noted the man had blood running down the left side of his face and visible bruising on his left eye. Pitchford told police that the two had been arguing, but that there was no physical altercation. After being placed in a patrol car, she asked if she could talk to her boyfriend because she wanted to say that she was sorry. It was not immediately clear what caused the fight. Pitchford was charged with domestic violence battery and remained in jail following the disturbing incident. She was already on felony probation for resisting an officer with violence and battery on a firefighter in November 2017.
Wow.
What? Battery on a firefighter. What would a firefighter do?
I heard you grabbed his hose. We don't practice this. Hey, forget the blood going down the side of the face. Mm-hmm. Forget those. We're talking about just squeezing the man's most sensitive part of the universe to blood? To blood? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God. The most sensitive part of the universe. Oh, geez. Yeah, no thanks.
We need to laugh.
Yeah, we needed a laugh
I
after
saw that
this.
last week going through the news, and I said, Darren, it's got your name on it.
Not my name. Keep her away from me. I don't want anything to do with her. She can stay far away. One final piece of good news that we want to mention here real quick is that a Michigan hotel over on the east side of the state, the Yale Hotel in Yale, Michigan, if you're a woman that's seeking an abortion, they will give you free room and board. That's awesome.
It is.
And I tell you what, we're going to encourage that. Absolutely. And we've got an article on how you can get your abortion paid for. That's on our official Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/Southpaws Radio Show, you can find that article there. It'll pay for travel. I mean, there's a lot of nice little tidbits in there. So please check that out. And that's going to wrap things up for this week. We'll be back next week. I'm Darren Gibson.
I'm Jack Prince.
For Kristen Cook, please support independent media.
The stations that carry Southpaws do not necessarily share the opinions expressed on the show. Southpaws is protected by the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and is copyrighted by Big D Entertainment. All rights reserved.